Comparing Solana versus Avalanche, we can see here that that Solana actually started out as about half the price as Avalanche. So in November 27th, 2020, Solana closed at $1.86, and you can't see it off the screen, or yes, you can, but an Avalanche was $3.59. So about half. And that's where it remained for about, you know, Solana stayed under Avalanche's price until close to mid-year, and then it started to surge up, and then at one point Solana was five times the price of Avalanche's price, and I got the symbol wrong there, but what's important is that now we're seeing that these two get closer and closer as the year is progressing. So at one point, once Solana flipped AVAX, it was at two times, rose up to about three times, and then it hit five times the price of AVAX, and then it's come down to three times, and now it's under two times. So it's at the high, it's at a multiple of about one point, let's say eight times um, AVAX. And when we look at the trading volume, a trading volume is it corresponds with the price well, because it stayed low and then it spiked at about right about that same time the price spiked, relative to AVAX. Solana's price spiked, so did the volume, pulled way back down, but that didn't slow. I mean, the price went dipped a little bit, but it didn't slow the growth. And then you can see here we've seen some tremendous spikes, but we're coming down to where the activity with um, between Solana and AVAX is an Avalanche is coming. It's still we still get some high surges, spikes, and then and fallbacks, but it's coming back down. And lately it's been at about it's only been at about a 2x ratio, actually dipping down to about 1.5x. So let's look at that on the numbers using the color codes. So here, this is Solana's price relative to AVAX, and you can see it starts off in this darker red for a low of it's trading at it's about 50% of AVAX Solana is, and then as we move down, we can see it got low. It got to 34%, 28%, 26%, and there was a couple of other low markers in there. It's actually below 20% at one point, 16.4%. So we're seeing deep red right there. But then as the year progresses, it slowly starts to uptick into where we start to see some orange, we start to see some yellow, and here's the first 2x day. We can see the corresponding trading volume was very high. And then just moving down, we can see Solana got stronger and stronger. And then until one day, we hit this peak of 5.15 times the price of AVAX. And you can see here that the price of AVAX was $37.05. Solana closed at 191.04. And of course, the trading volume was very high on that day, as you might expect. And so it dropped down, and now we've seen days where Solana's only 1.6 times the price of AVAX. And then just going back and up and looking at the trading volume was actually fairly high for Solana, even at the very start of when I started tracking. It was 2.2 times the trading volume of AVAX. And but looking down, you can see these deep blues are lower trading volumes for Solana relative to AVAX. And then there's some days where we just see 2.97, 2.04, seemingly out of nowhere. I'm sure there's a story that corresponds to that. But just moving down the graph, we can start to see these patches of white cells where there's two times, and then we move into now these darker red, these light pink and these darker red cells where there's five times, four times, 11 times the trading volume. And so it goes all the way up, and we got some darker reds here at 16.26 times. And so you can see the trading volume at that point was about 800 million for Solana and 48 million for AVAX. Um, and then here 15 times. and so 14 times, and then so you can see it's been sporadic, but it's coming back down now to where the trading volume is closer to one. We actually had some days where AVAX's trading was back trading at a multiple of Solana. So interesting trading volume. Um, I think I think paying attention to trading volume can really help you with price prediction. As you're seeing here, there's a decent correlation, and you can look to that to see, okay, if the trading volume is coming down, then relative to the price, then it means um, the competitor's price is going to spike up generally, right? But so there's the breakdown, and here's the price graph once again. You can see that Solana is in a dominant position, but it's not as dominant as it once was. AVAX is coming up, and of course we've seen some sharp volume spikes relative Solana relative to AVAX, but those are coming back down, and it's looking like it's going to be staying at like between a one and a one and a three times. But anyway, that's the breakdown.